Imagine creating a Hollywood-quality video from just a single sentence. No cameras, no actors, no sets, just your imagination, instantly brought to life. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not. Runway just dropped Gen-3 Alpha, and it's about to completely transform video creation as we know it. Let's dive into it. If you've been following AI in media, you know we've seen insane progress with text to image, but text to video? That's been the next big frontier. Now, Runway, the same company that brought us Gen 2, just unleashed Gen 3 Alpha, and it's already being called a massive leap forward. Gen 3 Alpha is Runway's newest text to video model. It can take a simple text prompt, like a futuristic cityscape at sunset, and generate a short video clip that's surprisingly high quality, cinematic, and packed with motion details. Unlike previous models, Gen 3 Alpha doesn't just create animated images or basic moving textures. It understands complex scenes, character movements, camera angles, dynamic lighting, things that filmmakers and animators usually spend weeks perfecting, and it can do it in seconds. Here's what makes Gen 3 Alpha stand out. Realistic motion and physics. Movements look natural, like the sway of trees or a human walking. Better temporal consistency. No more flickering or weird artifacts between frames. Dynamic camera movements. You can describe cinematic pans, zooms, or first-person perspectives, and it actually understands. Higher resolution and frame rate. Gen 3 Alpha delivers 4K upscaling support and up to 24 frames per second, making the outputs ready for serious projects. Character and object persistence. Characters don't change outfits randomly between frames anymore. A massive win for storytelling. And the crazy part? Gen 3 Alpha wasn't trained on copyrighted video material. It's based on public datasets and licensed content, helping Runway avoid the growing legal headaches in AI training. This tech isn't just for artists or indie filmmakers. It's going to touch advertising, education, gaming, marketing, and yes, social media content creation too. Imagine a small startup generating commercials without expensive shoots, game developers prototyping cinematic cutscenes overnight, educators creating explainer animations instantly. It lowers the barrier to professional-grade video production to almost zero. All you need is a good idea. But it's not perfect yet. Gen 3 Alpha is still early. Some generated clips can still look a little AI-ish. Complex human interactions, intricate facial emotions, those are still being refined. And like all generative AI, there are big ethical conversations happening. Deepfakes, content authenticity, and copyright concerns are going to become even bigger debates as models like Gen 3 get better. Have you heard about the massive investments flooding into AI chips lately? We're talking billions of dollars being thrown at tiny pieces of silicon, and they're becoming the real engines behind the AI revolution. If you think AI is moving fast now, just wait. Companies like NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and even newcomers are battling for dominance. And the stakes? Absolutely massive. Think the next trillion-dollar industries. Let's start with the basics. AI chips are specialized processors designed to handle the massive computations needed for artificial intelligence. Regular CPUs just can't keep up anymore. Every time you use a chatbot, generate an image, or ask your smart assistant a question, somewhere in the cloud, a powerful AI chip is crunching numbers at lightning speed. And because AI models are getting bigger, like GPT-5 Turbo, Claude 3.5, and Llama 3, we need even more powerful, efficient chips. Without them, there's no future of generative AI, autonomous cars, smart robotics, or personalized healthcare. Simple as that. Here's what just happened in the past week. NVIDIA announced their new Blackwell B100 GPUs, designed specifically for training next-gen AI models. These chips promise double the performance of their already legendary H100s. Microsoft is investing over $10 billion into AI infrastructure, building new data centers packed with these Blackwell GPUs and custom silicon. Amazon and Google are expanding their own in-house AI chip programs, betting that controlling the hardware gives them an edge. Intel launched a new AI-focused accelerator line, hoping to regain their edge after years of falling behind NVIDIA. And startups like SambaNova and Cerebras are building giant AI chips, literally the size of an iPad, to handle supermassive models. In short, whoever controls the best AI chips controls the future of AI. There's a few big reasons why money is pouring in. Demand is exploding. Every big company needs AI, not just for fancy chatbots, but for logistics, finance, healthcare, even agriculture. Chip shortages. In 2022-2023, we saw what happens when the world runs out of advanced chips. Nobody wants a repeat. National security. Countries are realizing that controlling AI hardware is a geopolitical issue. The US, China, and Europe are all racing to invest in domestic chip production. Innovation pressure. New AI models are so hungry for compute that whoever has faster chips wins the AI arms race. Building AI without enough chips? It's like trying to build skyscrapers without steel. You can have all the ideas in the world, but without hardware, it goes nowhere. But it's not all smooth sailing. Manufacturing cutting-edge chips is insanely expensive and complex. We're talking factories that cost $20 billion each. Plus, global supply chains for critical materials like silicon and rare earth metals are still fragile. So the next time you hear about a flashy AI breakthrough, remember, none of it happens without the quiet work being done deep in labs and factories, building the chips of tomorrow. Also, in tech news today, Google DeepMind just dropped AlphaFold 3, and it's not just a small update. This breakthrough could completely change how we create new medicines, design materials, and understand life itself. If you thought AI was just about chatbots and images, think again. Today's story isn't about gadgets or social media. It's about solving some of biology's biggest mysteries using AI. DeepMind, the company behind AlphaGo and AlphaFold 2, just released AlphaFold 3. And trust me, the world of science will never be the same. First, a quick refresher. AlphaFold is an AI system that predicts the 3D structure of proteins. Back in 2021, AlphaFold 2 made headlines by solving one of biology's grand challenges: how proteins fold into precise shapes, which determines how they function inside our bodies. This was a huge deal because proteins are like tiny machines that run every biological process, from digesting food to fighting infections. Understanding their shape is critical for drug discovery, biotechnology, and even synthetic biology. AlphaFold 2 could predict protein structures faster and more accurately than ever before, saving scientists years of painstaking lab work. But AlphaFold 3, it takes things to an entirely new level, not just proteins anymore. AlphaFold 3 can model proteins plus DNA, RNA, and even small molecules, unlocking a far more complete view of biology. Molecular interactions. It doesn't just predict isolated structures, it can simulate how different molecules interact with each other, which is crucial for understanding how drugs bind to their targets. Higher accuracy. AlphaFold 3 has set new benchmarks for predictive accuracy in modeling complex biological systems. Toolkit for scientists. DeepMind is also making a toolkit available. letting researchers use AlphaFold 3's capabilities for real-world projects, from cancer research to vaccine design. In short, AlphaFold 3 doesn't just show us what molecules look like, it shows us how they behave. Now let's talk about why this matters. Drug discovery could become faster and cheaper. Instead of spending billions and decades developing new drugs, companies could simulate how medicines interact with human cells in weeks, understanding diseases better. Diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, and COVID-19 involve complicated molecular processes. AlphaFold 3 could help scientists map these out with never-before-seen detail. Designing new materials. Beyond medicine, this could lead to designing better enzymes for green energy, biodegradable plastics, or even futuristic materials for space exploration. This is AI not replacing humans, but supercharging human creativity, science, and discovery. Of course, there are challenges. Biology is incredibly complex, and even the best models aren't perfect. Experimental validation in the lab is still critical. Plus, there are important discussions around open access, ethics, and how this powerful technology should be shared responsibly. AlphaFold 3 is proof that when AI is used wisely, it can accelerate real-world progress in ways we could barely imagine.
Let's take a look at one of the most important moments in tech history. The European Union has officially finalized the AI Act, the world's first major law regulating artificial intelligence. What's inside? How will it affect tech companies, startups, and even you? First, why does this even matter? Until now, AI development has been a bit of a Wild West. Powerful models are being built with almost no rules. Deepfakes, biased algorithms, surveillance tech, all of it has been exploding without clear oversight. The EU decided enough was enough. With the AI Act, they want to make sure that AI is safe, transparent, fair, and respects fundamental human rights. It's a first big step toward making sure AI works for people, not just corporations. So what's actually inside the AI Act? Here are the biggest highlights. AI systems are categorized into 4 risk levels: unacceptable risk, high risk, limited risk, and minimal risk. Unacceptable systems, like social scoring, are banned. High-risk AI, like biometric surveillance or credit scoring, faces strict regulations and audits. AI-generated content must be clearly labeled. If you interact with an AI system, you must know it's an AI. High-risk AI systems must allow humans to override decisions. No fully autonomous decision-making for critical areas. Big models like ChatGPT and other large language models must meet transparency and safety obligations, including publishing detailed summaries about their training data. Companies that break the rules could face fines up to 7% of their global revenue. Yes, that's even bigger than GDPR's penalties. This is not just a bunch of guidelines. This is real enforceable law with serious consequences. So, what does it mean for the real world? Companies like Google, Meta, and OpenAI will need to be much more transparent about how their models are trained, what risks they pose, and how they manage bias. Smaller companies might struggle with compliance costs, but the Act also creates trust, opening up opportunities for ethical AI startups. Everyday people should benefit from clearer disclosures, safer AI interactions, and protections against being profiled or manipulated by AI systems. And because the EU market is so large, these rules could influence global standards, even in the US, Asia, and beyond. It's what's called the Brussels effect. What starts in the EU often spreads worldwide. Of course, there are challenges. Critics say the law could slow down innovation or be too complicated for smaller developers. Enforcement will be key. Having strong rules is one thing, but making sure they're followed is another. Either way, the EU's AI Act is a historic moment. It shows that governments can step in to shape the future of AI, for better or worse. What do you think? Is this the start of responsible AI or just a new set of handcuffs for innovation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you love getting the real story behind tech news, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Big conversations are just getting started. See you in the next one.